The Gwaltney Group.
The following is a sponsored program paid for by Robin Gwaltney. Gwaltney Group. RE/MAX results. Welcome to Rochester Real Estate, featuring Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Results and Andy Brownell. Here's Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk, 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Good morning. Welcome to Saturday. Andy Brownell, News Talk 1340 KROC AM, along with Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Results. Good morning, Robin.
Good morning. We actually have Elizabeth Burch from the team here this morning as well, so you get 2 for 1.
All right. Hello, Elizabeth.
Hi, Andy. How are you today?
Doing well. It's a weekend.
I know. Thank goodness. Well, not for us.
Yeah,
that's true. Sorry about that.
We're a little busy today. Yeah, we're just in here both talking about our crazy busy days ahead and weekend ahead, but it's all good. We're excited.
Yeah. Now, last week, Robin, we talked about Match Day because it was coming up. Well,
right.
Yesterday was Match Day.
Yesterday was Match Day. There are a lot of very happy young medical professionals, medical school graduates who have now matched with hopefully the match of their dreams. I think the way it works is they pick their top 3 choices, and then their applications get sent to those 3 hospitals, and then the hospitals pick them. So, ideally they get matched at their top choice, but obviously that isn't going to work for every single applicant. But if they get their first, second, or third choice, that's pretty awesome. And we know we have a lot coming here to Rochester, and we are already seeing just mostly the way people are strategizing to list their houses. Like, everybody wants to come on right now. Yeah, Elizabeth, how many did we have as far as coming soons?
I think there was about 40. So it's
gosh.
Yeah, it's been a minute since we've seen this many kind of coming to the market. So as agents, we're super excited to offer a little bit more variety to our clients. And so I wanted to say congratulations to all those who matched at Mayo. We are so excited to have you in our community. I mean, Mayo is the bread and butter here in Rochester, and we just love and breathe our medical professionals. And so we're so excited to help you. Yay. So please reach out if you were matched in Rochester, Minnesota, and you are looking to purchase a home.
And let me add to that if you just graduated from Mayo Medical School and you've matched anywhere in the country, we have connections. So we can connect the Mayo Medical students who matched elsewhere with an agent that can help them find a home wherever it is they're headed. So big time in the spring. The spring market's a big deal anyway, but as far as the match day now, they're already in town. Some of them who already found out they matched here already had plane tickets or travel plans in hopes of matching, and they're already in town here shopping. And we've got plenty of showings today. One of our coming soons that's just hitting the market today has had 12 pre-scheduled showings.
Oh my goodness.
So, yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So it's still very busy. We still have more buyers than we do have homes for sale. So if you are thinking that this would be a possibility for you to get in your home on the market, and you are starting to see spring come into play outside, warmer temps, please reach out. Let us know if we can help you. The week of April 13th is the best time to list as well, says Zillow. But, Robin, what do you think? You think it's the best week to list?
Well, I mean, we're almost at April 13th, but that's nationwide. They're saying the number 1 hottest week in the, overall throughout the year across the country is April 13th. I mean, it'll be fine, April 13th, but it's good right now.
Yeah.
So,
I think we probably hit the spring market a little bit early this year.
We did. Yeah. And the mild winter had something to do with that, for sure.
I find it amazing.
The big snowstorm this past weekend, don't let that scare you. It's all the snow is kind of going away. Hopefully for good. So
they never even plowed my street because it melted so fast.
Yeah, it was so crazy. Well, over in Wabasha, we didn't even get an inch of snow.
Oh, really? We almost
the kids got out of school. The kids got out of school because of what was coming, but it's all good.
Well, one thing I love about Rochester, though, is our road service is phenomenal. They do an outstanding job to get those roads plowed for all of our medical professionals who have to get to, the hospital very, very early in the morning. So, coming from Michigan and moving here to Rochester, Minnesota, it's like night and day. I mean, there was days that I would go, where we wouldn't even have our neighborhood plowed until like 5 p.m. And that is not the situation here. So anyone that is moving here from a situation like that, be excited that there may be more snow coming your way and colder temps, but there's definitely phenomenal road service. I can't talk enough about the job that they do here. So
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's very true. I will say a lot of times when I show a house out in like Weather Hill or Maywood, they'll say, what's the, plowing service? Will we be able to get plowed out and get to work in the morning? I said, it never will be a problem.
No. So fun fact, right? Because not everybody thinks about that when they're relocating, but
sure.
They do.
It would have to be one heck of a snowstorm to prevent you from getting to work if you're in the city.
Yes.
True.
Yes. We are equipped.
So, I find it fascinating that these folks are already flying into town just a day after they found out.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think part of it is anticipation, hoping that they're going to match at their first choice. And sometimes, I don't know, I know they never get tipped off. They can't, right? But sometimes I think after their interviews, they feel pretty darn confident. So, but I have seen it happen. We actually have sold houses, like contingent upon matching, and then they turned out not matching.
Right, I know.
So it can happen. But anyway, we had one this year that was contingent upon a match, and they matched. So that was good. Yeah. That was very good. It's not just Rochester that the market's hot like this either. Brett had a listing over in Albert Lee that he had just put on the market Thursday. He did coming soon, but then it was available Thursday. And by Friday, he had 7 offers and sold it well above ask. So, the spring market has sprung. It's here. People are out in full forces. And interest rates are holding pretty steady, like 6.75 overall nationally. But I actually read something that I thought, do I have to reread this or is this right? Because this is the first I've heard this. I have definitely heard that the feds will probably do at least 2 rate chops this year, drop twice. They didn't do it this spring, as we already know. But I saw something where they said it could get down to almost 4% after 2 more rate cuts. Yeah,
Wow, well, that would be lovely.
If I can find it.
And everyone who's listening to, please remember, I just had a first-time home buyer who saved, did a fantastic job, and she actually bought her rate down. So that there is a possibility to do that if you do have the funds to do that. It's a fantastic way to help you get into a comfortable monthly payment too if you think the interest rates are a little bit higher. So don't let that scare you away at all. Reach out to your real estate professional and let us pick our brains a little bit about how we can work with a lender and get you in the right fit. So there's lots of possibilities out there.
Going back to match day, is there a typical type of home or price range of home that these people who are matching up with Rochester that they look for?
Well, the majority, I would say yes.
Yeah, I love that question. That's a great question, Andy, because I think a lot of people think when residents are coming in, they think doctors, they think they're probably going to buy this big home, right? But remember, these are residents. These are people who have been
right out of med school.
Yeah, have been in school for a very, very long time, probably have a thick amount of loan debt. And so we're trying to find starter homes for these, and we're already in a lull in a low inventory of starter homes. So we're looking around the 2s to 300s for, I think, majority. Again, every situation is different. So we do see some on the higher end as well, depending on their situation. But I'd say majority of that's 2 to 3s, you think?
Yeah. Sometimes the residents are married and then their spouse or significant other is working as a hospital administrator maybe or something like that. So there's all kinds of different situations, but regardless if it's residents or who it is, that $300,000 to $400,000 price range is usually the heavy load.
Sure.
Because first of all, it's hard to find something less than 300.
I know.
Unfortunately. Crazy. Elizabeth has a brand new one that's under 300.
I do. So
I
am listing one today that is the cutest patutest. It is going to be $250,000, a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. It is probably around $1,639 in terms of square footage. Now, it does lack a garage, but it does have a driveway and it does have a shed, a pretty large shed on the property. So you could store, your lawnmower and all of your lawn care type items. But I think it was built in the 50s. So it's got original hardwood floors. She painted throughout. Just really made it pop. So
it's in a great neighborhood too.
Yeah, it's on the northeast side. It's right near Silver Lake and within walking distance. And it's an 8-minute drive to Mayo Clinic. So phenomenal time for it to hit the market. I have 5 showings on it. We have 2 open houses tonight. We had an open house on Friday, and then we're going to have an open house on Saturday too as well. So excited to see what that's gonna bring for these sellers.
Okay, I found what I was looking for.
Okay.
I'm not crazy. It says right here, cuts still likely in 2025. While the Fed isn't ready to act yet, the board's March forecast puts the interest rate around 3.9% by the end of the year,
wow,
suggesting 2 cuts are coming later in 2025.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay, if that's what they're predicting and that does come to play, I was going to say, holy moly.
Yeah. I don't know. That's the first I've heard numbers that low.
Yes.
In everything I've been reading, I've not seen that. So I'm like, okay, that is really crazy. So we'll see. I mean, I don't even know how 2 price drops could get us from 6.75 to 4. I mean, those would be some doggone big price drops.
I wonder if they're referring to the Fed rate instead of a mortgage rate.
Yes, of course they are. But where is the Fed rate right now? It's at 5 something. So yeah, I guess. Yeah. All right. You're right.
But that would still translate to probably a mortgage rate of around 5% or so.
Exactly.
I mean, 5% would be phenomenal.
Yes, 5% would be phenomenal.
Yeah.
It would be great.
Interesting.
So yeah, that is great news.
We need to take a break.
All right.
All right. Robin Gwaltney and Elizabeth Burch with Gwaltney Group-RE results on Newstalk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
We'll be right back with Robin Gwaltney and Andy Brownell on Rochester Real Estate. This is News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96 Heat. To Rochester Real Estate with Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group-RE results and Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Welcome back. We're with Robin Gwaltney and Elizabeth Burch, Gwaltney Group-RE results on another Saturday morning here at Newstalk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM. Robin, curious, with all of the, I guess, doom and gloom reports in the media, how do you're always telling me you're so busy and you're having just a banner year as far as moving real estate in the Rochester area. What's going on with that?
It is a really good question, and I'm going to tell you something. I tell people when I go to the listing appointments, of course it has always mattered who you use to be your real estate agent. It's always mattered. But some markets it matters less than others, all right? So if you go back to 2021, a lot of buyers, things were just like going crazy, flying off the shelves. There was, 16, 17 offers on every single deal. And people were just like calling Zillow, taking any name they got, anybody who answered the phone, and that's who they were buying their house from. And now it's just a little trickier. And as the inventory is low, I mean, we talked about this last week, we're like 3+ million listings shy of what we need across the map, of course. And here in Rochester, we have fewer listings than we have buyers, as Elizabeth mentioned earlier. So you've got to learn how to win, right? You've got to be able to write a really strong offer. And most buyers don't know how to do that without the guidance of their agents. And so to say a realtor is a realtor is a realtor, no. And oh my gosh, this just took me off track for a minute. I saw a post the other day made by some young realtor, and it said, I suggest that all realtors at age 55 lose their real estate license. And I thought, are you kidding me right now? And I'm like, I'm just going to tell you, I'm 63, young lady, and I'm selling circles around you. So don't. It's not about age. It's not about age. What it is about, it's about experience and expertise. So you want to work with somebody who absolutely has been there, done that, and who knows the market, understands the data, can tell you the numbers. What is the average house selling for right now? Well, I'll tell you, as of today, the average sale in Rochester, list price to sale price, is 100%. Okay, that's the average. So, and guess what? They're sitting on the market a lot longer. Average days on market is like 53 if we go across the board with all prices. But median days, which is more important because then it takes out those houses that are sitting and not selling. Median days on the market is 24.
Oh, wow.
So sometimes I'll hear people say, they'll bring me an offer on my listing and they'll say, well, the buyer knows it's been sitting there for 21 days. And so they want to come in $10,000 less. Well, maybe you should educate the buyer and tell them that the median days on market is 24 and that doesn't really affect the value of the property. So when the property is priced right, and trust me when I tell you ours are, and when they are priced right, they're selling at, on average, 100% of the list price, people. So this is not the time to come in and try to get a bunch of money off. Now, you and I have talked about this before, Andy, and if something is overpriced, well, then there might be some room to move. Or if somebody's feeling like really in a hurry to sell, I mean, there's always going to be some situations where someone's going to get a deal. But 6 months ago, I was telling people, if you want to get a deal, right now is the time. Mm-hmm. Because right now the interest rates are in the high sevens. People are a little nervous, but now we're talking 6.67. So you know what? I told you, if you wait till spring, you're going to be back out there and you're going to be in that busy market. But if you're going to get in that market, get in there with somebody who can navigate you to win.
Yes.
Like, what are the statistics as far as who's got the listings?
So it looks like the top 10% of listing agents held 42.6% of the listings in February. So that was an increase of 16.6% over the same 6-month period prior to the NAR settlement. So what that's saying is, and what I would love to help educate the public on is, when you are picking an agent, because look, the ball is in your court. We all want to represent you. We all want to have an opportunity to serve you. So interview those agents. Are they full-time? Are you working with a full-time agent? If you're not, if you're thinking about using your cousin who's done 2 deals this year, they're not going to be able to bring you the same type of benefit and coaching to get you into the house, especially if it's at a certain price point that is very competitive. So it really does matter who you're working with, and if the people are up to speed on the location that you're looking in, how fast you need to go and see a house when it hits the market to be able to be competitive if you wanted to write an offer. All of these things come into play, and it's important for you to interview your agent, to ask them these questions to make sure that they know and they have a market knowledge to help best serve you.
These numbers actually show that people are doing that, right? Because that's why we're getting busier. I mean, people, they aren't just going to take the gal because, our kids have played soccer together for years, so I'm going to use her. Now it's more like I need to look and see who are the movers and the shakers, who are getting the houses sold, who's got the most listings, who's got the most buyers, who's representing the most deals. We have literally sold 83 houses so far, and we've only had 80 days this year. So we're doing more than a deal a day.
That's amazing, Robin. That's truly amazing. And we've talked about this before. The other aspect of this is the team part, the Gwaltney Group-RE Max Result team. You get to tap into the expertise of so many different people.
Yes. And not only just the Gwaltney Group team, you hit the nail on the head when you said of RE/MAX Results, because RE/MAX Results is the largest and most productive real estate company in Rochester and all of Southeast Minnesota for that matter. I've said it many times. RE/MAX is a huge worldwide brand that everybody knows. And John Colopy, our broker owner, is the #1 franchisee within the brand. Okay. He owns 49 offices, has 1,400 agents. In 2024, this Rochester office right here is the number one most productive of all 49. So there are a lot of really good RE/MAX agents right here in Rochester, and very many right here on the Gwaltney Group. But when you work with us, you work with all of the RE/MAX agents. So when you work with any RE/MAX agent, you've got this edge, because there's this thing called dual agency that I would love to talk about, because so many people don't understand. But please tell me if we're coming up on a break, because if we are,
you have impeccable timing, Robin. So we'll do the break, and we can talk about dual agency when we come back. Robin Gwaltney is here. Elizabeth Burch is here with Gwaltney Group-RE results on Newstalk 1340 KROC AM at 96.9 FM.
We'll be right back with Robin Gwaltney and Andy Brownell on Rochester Real Estate. This is News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96. To Rochester Real Estate with Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group-RE results and Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
We are back with Robin Gwaltney and Elizabeth Burch, Gwaltney Group-RE results. Robin, dual agency. Tell us about it.
Okay, so dual agency is when when the buyers and the sellers are both being represented by the same brokerage, okay? It doesn't mean it has to be my buyer and my seller. It just means that if the buyer and the seller are both working with someone within RE/MAX. So let's just pick another agent. Let's pick Lori Mickelson. Lori has a listing. I have a buyer. That listing and buyer are both being represented by two agents who are licensed to RE/MAX results. So now we are what we call dual agents. So what that means is Lori and I both owe the same fiduciary duties to the buyer and to the seller. So it is our job to create a win-win, because now it's not Lori's client and my client putting a deal together. It's our clients trying to put a deal together. So if we're professionals and we're doing dual agency right, we will help each other help this come together, and it becomes a win-win. So at the end of the deal, we have a very happy buyer who feels really good about the house that they got and the price that they paid. And we have a very happy seller who feels really good about getting their house sold and for the price that they sold it for. And neither party felt any pressure whatsoever. And so people are scared. They'll say, "Oh, I don't know about dual agency. I've heard it's really bad." And I'm like, no, it's actually a huge advantage, because now you have, I think the last time I looked, the top 25 real estate agents in Rochester and Southeast Minnesota, 17 or 18 of us are here at RE/MAX results. Okay.
Wow.
So we're pretty top heavy in excellent agents. So it's a huge advantage to be working with any of us. Okay. And there is one other thing I want to quickly touch on. It's called, not off market. Help me, Elizabeth. Not coming soon. Withheld listings. So some people say, I want you to start shopping my house around, but I don't want to sign in the yard. I'll sign with you, but I don't want you to tell other agents. I don't want a bunch of traffic. I don't want to be in the MLS yet. Maybe I don't even want to be in the MLS ever if I don't have to be. And a brokerage can only share, any brokerage can do withhelds, but you can only share them with the other agents in your company. So it's a huge advantage to us because, like I said, we have so many agents and so many top producing agents that it just puts the buyers and sellers in a really good advantage.
I mean, to also further that point, Andy, is we actually have a whole entire website, RE/MAX website, that just caters to withhelds. So if we do come across a seller who does not want it advertised online, but wants to advertise it initially within our own company, we can go on this website and we can get those to our buyers who are looking to purchase. So it's phenomenal.
So there's just so much behind the scenes that people don't understand that we can explain.
Yeah.
I just learned something new today. I had no idea that was such a big deal.
Yeah, so that's a whole chunk, another inventory of homes that only we have access to for our buyers and sellers. So it's a great, great gift to be working for RE/MAX results.
Yeah, it is.
Another thing.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Another thing I thought of is, as I've gotten to know more and more members of the team, Robin, that you guys are spread out geographically.
You got that right. I mean, we have another office, physical office besides this one here in Rochester. We have one in Wabasha, and we have a full staff of agents that work there and focus on that market. I mean, clearly I do a lot of business in Wabasha as well because it's where I was born and raised and I have a lot of ties there. But we have 4 or 5 agents that really only focus on that market. And they go up and down the river, up to Lake City, Red Wing, down to Winona, and 3 of them are even licensed in Wisconsin. And the agents that live over here, they live out by Chatfield, out by Stewartville, out by Byron. So yes, we are spread out. We've got somebody in every little market you can think of.
We do. So we also get a question a lot of the time is if we serve the cities, and some of our agents will go up to the cities to help along that line. I know that a couple of the agents have grown up in the cities, so they're familiar with the area. But of course, we can always refer. We have tons of agents in the cities in the cities and across the nation.
Yeah, we're here to help wherever it is, whatever you need, buying, selling, advice, whatever.
And it sounds to me like if you have a home and you're thinking about listing, now is the time to get a hold of somebody with Gwaltney Group, RE/MAX Results, Robin or Elizabeth or any member of the team. Am I correct?
That's correct.
We would love to help or start a conversation, just get you the information that you need. That's really one of our passions, is just helping educate the public of where they stand in terms of their value of their house currently and the best positioning to get it sold quickly. So,
who do they call? Or which number do they call?
Well, I always tell everybody to call my cell because I always know who to call if it's not something for me, right? So my cell phone number is 507-259-4926. And of course, if you want to learn more about the Gwaltney Group, please visit our website at www.gwaltneygroup.com.
All right, Robin. Elizabeth, great talking to you again. And Robin, we'll talk again next week. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Andy.
All right. Robin and Elizabeth, Gwaltney Group, RE/MAX Results on Newstalk 1340, KROC AM at 96.